Huawei Nova 3i. It's kinda strange seeing this phone in India. The Huawei Nova 2i did not launch in India as a Huawei phone. Instead, it hit Indian shores as a Honor phone, the Honor 9i. In case you didn't know, Honor is a sub-brand of Huawei, a more price-sensitive sub-brand to be precise. So Huawei's kinda shuffled this around, and now the successor to the Honor 9i, which happens to be the Nova 3i, it's with Huawei. It's launched under the Huawei banner instead of Honor. So how does this fare? Is it worth your attention? Well, let's find out in today's video. But before we do, if this is your first time here or in case you just can't remember, my name's Ash, you're watching C4 Tech. As always, card to giveaway link in the description below, and while you're down there, hit that bell icon to make sure you get notified every time a new video goes live here on C4 Tech. Let's now get started. Now, the Nova 3i looks and feels like a premium phone. That purple to blue gradient to the back is eye-catching. The display looks like it should be on something priced higher. The metal sides feel well done. The notch, the vertical camera alignment, they feel inspired by more expensive offerings. Talking about the notch, let's touch upon the display. It's a 6.3-inch IPS LCD panel. The resolution is Full HD+. It's sharp, the colors are good, the viewing angles are excellent. The 19.5:9 aspect ratio means it's stretched long. That combined with the minimal bezels results in an excellent screen-to-body ratio of 82.2%. So despite the display being 6.3 inches, the Nova 3i doesn't feel unwieldy. It's quite comfortable to hold. Of course, the regular caveats as with any glass build apply here. It attracts fingerprints and smudges, it's slippery, but past that, there's really nothing that I can complain when it comes to the build and design here. Except the fact that this still sports a micro USB port. Why micro USB on a phone in 2018? A phone with the latest chip, a 20k plus price tag. I'd never understand. Hey, at least they didn't remove the headphone jack, right? So anyway, talking about the latest chip, the Nova 3i has a Kirin 710 at its heart. Now I've done an entire video explaining what this chip is all about and how it fares against the competition, and I'll leave a card to that video here. Check it out for more information. But if you want the short version, the Kirin 710 is a huge step up from the Kirin 659 on older Huawei and Honor phones. CPU wise, it slots a little higher than the Snapdragon 660. GPU wise, it falls short, but even then it managed to run most intense titles we threw at it with relative ease. On the memory front, we've got 4 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of onboard storage. If that's not enough, then there's a hybrid slot for microSD. Talking about slots, the Nova 3i has support for 4G VoLTE via both SIMs at the same time. The cellular reception and call quality were equally good. All of this is now backed up by a 3340 mAh battery. The battery life on the 3i did impress me. So I used this phone as my primary for almost a week, and on each of those days I had no qualms getting through the entire day on moderate use. The regular WhatsApp, music, little bit of YouTube, social media and so on a single charge. In fact, I usually had over 30% left in the tank at the end of the day. The charge time's okay, it takes about an hour 45 to go from 0 to 100. On the software front, we've got EMUI 8.2 built on top of Android 8.1 Oreo here. Features you'd expect like Face Unlock are present and work as well as they do on almost every phone out there today. The fingerprint scanner too is quite fast and accurate. There are some things I really like about EMUI, for example the battery percentage inside the icon, the way the notch is handled, an option to hide it being available, the presence of an FM radio, different navigation options. There's a lot of customization available. Now despite this customization, Huawei has still managed to keep things snappy. Jumping between apps, scrolling through feeds, multitasking, it was all a breeze. I didn't face any major slowdowns or lag in my time with the 3i. So now let's next move on to the cameras. There are 4 on this phone, 2 to the front, a 24 megapixel f2 primary and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. The primary camera, as you can see, is very good, great at detail. It's got a HDR Pro mode for better dynamic range. It comes with a portrait mode and lighting options. The edge detection isn't great here. With the rear cameras, we again get a dual setup. We've got a 2 megapixel depth sensor, but with a 16 megapixel f2.2 primary. There's support for AI, but as I mentioned in the unboxing, AI has a tendency to oversaturate colors, and it's a bit of a hit or a miss. Well, in instances like this, it doesn't come across well. In others like this, you might prefer it to the original. But here's the thing, the Nova 3i gives you an option to choose between the regular picture and the AI enhanced one even after the shot. So just leave AI on, shoot what you want, don't like what AI has done, turn it off after the image has been shot. As for the quality of the images themselves, they have reasonable detail, the dynamic range is mediocre. Even without any major highlights to blow, you can see there's detail lacking in the shadows here. The decision to have HDR as a dedicated mode for the rear camera is perplexing, given that it's a toggle for the front camera. Under low light, the performance is subpar for the price segment. It struggles a lot. Here are a few more samples. Additionally, it's worth mentioning that there's support for a full-fledged manual mode along with Qmoji, Huawei's version of Apple Animoji. It works about as well as any implementation that depends just on the selfie camera. As for video, there's no 4K but Full HD at up to 60 FPS. Sadly, the video is very soft with subpar dynamic range and no stabilization, electronic or optical. Go down to 1080p 30 FPS and the detail levels improve drastically. The dynamic range is a little better, but there's still no stabilization. There's super slow-mo up to 480 FPS, which is more of a gimmick at this point. Doesn't really, as you can see, the results aren't anything special. So overall, the rear cameras seem to need a lot more work. They are the weak link of an otherwise impressive phone from Huawei. Now the asking price for this phone is 21,000 rupees. For this price, you get a beautiful phone that looks more expensive than it actually is, with a solid chip inside, a battery that will last all day, and a selfie camera that will not let you down. The main cons here are the lack of Type-C and the rear camera performance. If those aren't high on your list of priorities, then at 21k, the Huawei Nova 3i might serve you well. I'm going off script right now. This is a script I wrote about 3-4 days back, actually 6 days back. But in that time, the Honor Play launched. And the Honor Play basically has EMUI. It's got a Kirin 970 and it's at 19,990. That kind of makes the Nova 3i an option only if you want something that looks flashy, because as far as the chip and everything goes, the Kirin 970 just outdoes the 710 like by a lot. It's just flat out the better chip there. So with the presence of something like the Honor Play, the Nova 3i fades. Unless and until you want a phone that looks as good as this one does, I'd probably suggest getting the Honor Play. Instead, it's got even a bigger battery and so on. So anyway, what do you think about this phone, the Nova 3i? Is this something you'd be interested in picking up? Or are you gonna go with the Honor Play or pick something else? Let me know what your pick is in this segment. And with that, it's time I bid you adieu. If you hated this video, you know what to do. But if you did like it, if you did find it useful, go ahead, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe and turn on notifications by clicking that bell icon. So thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4 Retech and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye bye.